Hey everyone, hope you're well. Now then, before we move on to learning this awesome opening riff to Lonely is the Night, I first want to talk about the incredibly unfair and tragic rock and roll tale of one Mr. Billy Squier. Y'all know who Billy Squier is, or at least I hope you do. A good-looking guitar rocker from the early 80s who was flying high after two mega-selling albums and a bunch of chart-topping crossover rock hits. An artist who was setting himself up quite nicely to be a major player on the 80s rock scene, and well beyond for that matter. And then poof, he disappeared. Many would say as a direct result of his misguided 1984 video to the track Rock Me Tonight. Generally considered to be one of the absolute worst and unintentionally hilarious videos of the whole MTV music video era. I'm personally a bit on the fence with regards to that determination, but, hell, careers have been destroyed for less, I suppose. You see, Billy released his fourth album, Signs of Life, in 1984, still riding high on the phenomenal success of his two previous albums, 1981's Don't Say No and 1982's Emotions in Motion. Out of the box, the album looked like it was again going to be another hit. It seemed that people just couldn't get enough of Billy Squier. Rock Me Tonight, the lead-off single, was flying up the charts like many of his previous singles did, and all was looking pretty rosy in the world of Billy Squier. Then it came time to make a video for his new hit single. Now, whose idea it was to have Billy do air guitar to the track and rather flamboyantly dance around in a pink tank top while at times rolling and posing on pastel-colored pink sheets is anyone's guess. It was a flat-out embarrassment of a video. That I do agree with. In hindsight, and when the backlash to the video started, blame was thrown back and forth from the director to the record label to Billy himself. It seemed that nobody wanted to take responsibility for this mess of a video. Unfortunately, some would say that the direct result of this awful video release was that it alienated a large percentage of Squier's hardcore rock following, mostly teenage boys at the time, resulting in an almost immediate decline in album sales, and unfortunately for Billy, concert tickets. Within weeks of the video release, the once stadium-filling rocker was playing to half-filled arenas, and his album quickly dropped off the charts without another hit single. Devastating to his career, it goes without saying. But with that said, was it strictly the video that killed Billy's career? You see, the album itself, Signs of Life, really wasn't very good. The songwriting itself was simply not up to par. Plus, Billy, always the guitar rocker, was starting to flirt with a bit more of a pop sound on this release. And the album was kind of a wash in synthesizers as a result. And believe me when I tell you, because I was there in the early 80s, if there's one thing us 80s rockers and metalheads hated more than pop music, it was our rock and our metal saturated with synthesizers. Though, of course, the video didn't help matters, but I personally think that Billy somewhat sabotaged his own career with one, a not very good album, and two, a misguided attempt at pop stardom. A play for Billy at the time that was unforgivable to all the 19 and 20-year-old kids who just wanted him to keep on rocking. But then again, he could have just oversaturated himself on radio and video. Such was his meteoric rise. And people simply maybe got tired of him. That's another theory that some have. Needless to say, his career never did recover. There sadly was no second coming of Billy Squier. He's wallowed pretty much in obscurity ever since. Goddamn shame, really, because for those 2 or 3 years in the early 80s, Billy pumped out some absolute rock gems. Tracks like The Stroke, My Kind of Lover, You Know What I Like, Emotions in Motion, It Keeps You Rockin', and of course, the track that we're going to be looking at today, Lonely is the Night. Speaking of which, whoops. Let's close in here a little bit and learn how to play it, shall we? All right then, Lonely is the Night by Billy Squier. We are in standard tuning for this little tutorial, and the opening little lick is right there. We're going to take the 2nd fret of the G string, slide it into 4 on the downstroke, and then you're going to catch the open B string, which is the exact same note that you're sliding into. And then with 2 upstrokes, you're going to catch the open E along with the open B. Kind of like that. Now you're going to grab that 4 that you're sitting on the G string, very quickly slide it back to 2, and then pull it off to 1. And then you're going to pull off 2 to 1 one more time, and then grab the 2 of the D string, and then open E. Like that. Now you're going to start it the same way again. And you're going to take that 4, slide it back to 2, pull it off to 1 again, but this time you're going to go right back on to 2. Kind of like that. So that's the first half of the riff. Do it again, and you're going to do the exact same thing we did the first time with the double pull off, and then you're going to grab the 2 of the D, and this time you're going to go into this 2nd fret of the A, hammer onto 4, and grab the 2 of the D, and then we're into this. So we're going to grab the 4 of the A string, slide it into 5, and then on the upstroke catch the open D, and you're going to do that twice. And then back to 4, 2 of the A, open E, bottom 2 strings on the upstroke to finish off the riff. So, the whole thing, nice and slow. The riff. And then we're into the first verse. So we're in a 3-finger power chord here, E power chord at the 7th fret position. You're going to hit those 3 strings, the A, the D, and the G string. And then you're going to release your ring and pinky, which are holding on the 9s, just off to a bar with the E and the bass. So you're basically moving to D, but you still have your E in the bass. Kind of like that. So you're just barring the 7s on the A, D, and G. And then you kill it. And then you go. So you do it again, E, pull off, down to an A power chord. And then you're on to this D over A chord. So you're going to hit the A power chord. You're going to hit that D over A twice, dropping our middle finger on 3 of the B string and our ring finger up here on 4 of the D. And then back off to the A power chord. And that plays throughout the first verse. And that is it, my friends. That is how you play the opening riff to Lonely is the Night by Billy Squier. I certainly hope you enjoyed that, and I enjoyed maybe my little history lesson on Billy Squier. If you did, please hit that like button and drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already. That would be awfully nice of you to do. And I hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world, wherever that may find you, and we will see you next time. Cheers.